Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, Senior News Editor with Retail Insider. Joining me today is Scott Arsenault, who is CEO of Ren's Pets. Thanks for joining us today, Scott.
Always great to talk to you, Mario.
All right, some great news for you guys recently. The Pet Product News named you the 2022-2023 Omnichannel Innovator Retailer of the Year award winner. Thoughts on that, Scott, and what that award meant for you?
Well, you know what? I think it's a North American publication. It's an industry leader for so the little company when I started at 3 stores and we're going to be 57 this year to get that type of recognition on the national North American scale, I think just bodes well for our team. All the effort they've put in to be a true omni-channel retailer. A lot of people we're not doing things before COVID, but we've long been in this space and continue to evolve. And I think this was a accumulation of many years of shipping across Canada to our customers, innovating, and then winning this award.
When you look at the history of the company. When did you guys feel or had the aha moment, so to speak, that okay, omni-channel is what we've got to focus on and put resources into and go with?
So I've been with the company. I'm in my 12th year now, and I started with store number 3. So think about that. We're going to be 57 this year. We had an e-commerce platform long before I started. So that's where I'm saying we had been shipping across Canada well before my
Yeah.
inception 12 years ago.
Okay. When did you see it ramp up though? This whole thrust in this area?
Yeah, it was really born out of we ship to professionals, so groomers across Canada. And I think, it was a mail order business originally, and then it came an e-commerce platform. And a lot of it was professional, say back then. But I was just looking at the stats and how we've shifted to a large portion of our business over the last 5 years has shifted to consumer versus professional. We're still shipping to the groomers products across Canada, but they're a finite business. And the groomer adoption over the last 5 years has just catapulted.
Oh, okay. And when you look at this whole omni-channel experience, like what are the keys for a successful business these days when it comes to the omni-channel world?
Well, I think with pet, it's a little bit different, right? Because we're a grocery, we're feeding family members, and
Yeah.
there's not as high margin as you're going to see in some categories like a Sephora, some cosmetics and makeup. So, for us to make sure that we can have that same experience that you might be shopping for your retail products with a product that's so important to you. So, we really had to innovate there. And I think where we got this award was when we did DoorDash. So we had been shipping to people. We had same day shipping. We were order by two, ship same day. But as we got into urban Toronto, we said we needed to innovate and even take it another level. And it was complex to do that with frozen pet food, to do that with heavy pet food and the cost that's associated with it. But we knew that the consumer needed that. And sometimes it was convenience. When you're going into urban Toronto, it's, do I have a car? Can I get this product to my apartment or condo? So that last step with DoorDash and making sure we could ship anywhere same day
Mm.
and ship frozen was kind of where we thought we had to accelerate.
Do you think, when you talk about acceleration, obviously, everybody talks about the last couple of years with through COVID that there was an acceleration of this whole e-commerce area and convenience. Uh, has that stuck? Has the idea, especially from the convenience point of view of what consumers want, and they want it now, has that kind of been a trend that has stuck and will stick with us for forever, I guess?
Yeah, so the e-commerce for us is growing double digits, but I think it's really, for pet, it's been a hard category to make sure it's accessible because of weights and size of products and shipping and stuff like that. So, and we carry such a premium product and diet, and it's unique to a lot of pet parents. So we've seen the continual growth. There's been a laggard now with COVID slowing down, and obviously, but it's still double digit growth for us, and it's really about continuing to evolve. So this year, what we're doing is we're tripling our e-commerce footprint and warehouse capacity. So I know everybody talks about us opening 12 stores this year. We're growing by 27% at our retail. But what we've done is we've taken our network facility that we transferred all of our products to our stores, and we made it solely an e-commerce store. So we will double our SKUs online. We will carry SKUs that are only available online. We'll go much wider. And our
Yeah.
vendors are really excited about that because we had to pare down some of the assortment in their categories to make sure we got everybody in. And now we're giving access across Canada to full range of products and the breadth of products that all of our brands carry.
Oh, wonderful. So when speaking of stores, just opened a new, the latest one, correct, in New Brunswick?
Correct, St. John. We got to get that right because that one's tricky. We opened April 1st, St. John. Previous to that, we opened in the Junction, which is a really exciting new urban store for us. And the first one this year was Brockville as well. But we're opening St. John's, Newfoundland this month as well. So we've had to get really intentional about getting that right because it is sensitive when you're in the Maritimes, whether it's St. John or St. John. So two new Maritime stores and a new province opening up this month.
And when you look at the number of stores, again, how many are you going to open this year, new stores?
So 12 new stores this year. We have 3 behind us. And I was trying to do the math, and the easiest way I can say it, over the next, 5 months, we're going to open a store every 2 weeks. So we've got, 3 or 4 in the next 45 days. I'm looking at my list here, and it's going to be St. John, Newfoundland, St. Thomas, Oakville, number 2, Cornwall, Charlottetown, a new province, Owen Sound. We're opening up in the Beaches, Markham, and South Oshawa. So we've got a busy dance card still to fill out this year with 9 more stores coming on top of the 3 we just opened.
How much do you think you can grow the brand in Canada?
Well, you know what? It's exciting because now we're getting into multiple provinces, so outside of kind of Ontario, but we still have a ton of landscape. There's retailers with over hundreds of stores in Ontario alone, and we've really just nibbled on the urban market in Toronto. Beaches will only be our 3rd star. And, Toronto's a top 5 city in North America, and we have 3 stores kind of realistically playing in that urban area. So there's a ton of runway there. And we still are not in a lot of the major cities. And then there's a lot of cities like Mississauga, 700,000 people. We have 1 store, so we're underservicing that community. And that's why Oakville, our number 1 store, opened 48 years ago. We're opening Oakville number 2. And that's kind of going to be, great. We're going to have Ren and Sharon back, our founders, for that. We're going to have a really nice ribbon cutting and dedication to them. But when you look at a market like Oakville, it's 200,000 people. And we're doing well in markets of way less than that, like Belleville, 50,000, Truro, 25,000. So we need to make sure that we're servicing. And one thing we've noticed with traffic and population, people can't get readily around in cities like Oakville anymore. So you got to make sure that you're servicing both sides of that community.
Yeah. Now, your urban stores in Toronto, is that concept anywhere else?
As far as, no, just the 3 there. So those are kind of like, and they're still large stores. Some of our competitors are 2,500, 1,500 square foot. Those stores are 4,500 to 6,000. So for rents, we're coming down. So it may seem like a small store, but it's still very impactful when you're shopping there.
Now, do you foresee taking that concept to other Canadian cities?
Absolutely. Yeah. We're definitely Ontario Maritimes right now, but there's this big thing, the West there, that we've looked at, and we really want to grow the company now. We're getting up to 700-800 employees. You got to make sure the bench is strong. Where you're going into different markets like Newfoundland, it's like, we can't send people there. We got to have a strong team there, but Newfoundland could be a multi-store market as well. So we've been very intentional about when we went to Ottawa. That was our first kind of forage away from our home office. And what we said is we got to carry that culture there. And we sent 1 person, and it was almost like a pioneer. And then we grew 4 stores in Ottawa. And as we grow into markets like the West, we would want to make sure we go there with the right team, the right culture, the right support.
Now, I want to get your thoughts on the pet industry itself in general. Everyone talked about how in the past 2 years, 3 years, through COVID, it was like a huge growth, a number of people with pets and number of people spending time with pets because they were homebound, so to speak. What's an industry like now? It seems to me like it's continuing to explode.
Yeah, you know what? We've heard some, indication about people, giving their dogs up, having to go back to work, and we've seen some of that. And I think that scares people, and maybe it's the headlines, but still the industry is booming in terms of pet ownership. Rescues are doing well. Yeah, they are fuller than they were 2 years ago, but there's just a lot of people out there that are still in a position to create, a new family member. So as much as there might be a need for some people that don't have access or the time to, have those family members and didn't understand what it'd be like post-COVID, really just seen it continue to grow, really.
Okay, then wonderful. Well, thanks very much, Scott, and look forward to continued growth and announcements from you guys. They seem to be coming quite frequently these days.
Well, you seem to be a patriarch of retail and Ren's and everybody else. You're getting our competitors. We appreciate everything you do for the pet industry and retail in general, Mario. So thank you.
All right, thanks very much, Scott. That was Scott Arsenault, who is CEO of Ren's Pets. I'm Mario Toneguzzi, Senior News Editor with Retail Insider. Thanks for joining us today.